Hello, everyone. Sports Snippets. Dennis Sullivan here. It is Monday, and that is the 11th of November. Glad that you're joining me here for this latest edition, Dolphins Recap. Also today, on this 11th day of November, we honored our veterans here on Veterans Day, so we certainly want to make mention of that. If it weren't for the veterans, we wouldn't have football games to watch. So just wanted to make sure that we, of course, do start the program with what is most important, right? We watch sports and we talk about sports for fun, but today was a day to honor our veterans. Okay, guys, moving along to our latest Dolphin game. Simply put, we did it again. Couldn't believe it. Not the most entertaining game when it comes to like offensive plays, nice catches, great runs. Not much of that in this one. Not much of that at all, guys. More of a defensive battle. Dolphins pull out the win on the road in Indianapolis, 16-12. 16-12. So after 7 losses, we come back with 2 wins. Who would have thought? Now, there were some things that contributed to our win, but before, points 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand on the snippets board this evening. Point 2, Coach Flores, major credit given. I purposely did not talk much about Coach Flores on previous videos, or the coaching staff for that matter, because I knew they were up against a lot. They were going in with a roster that many people thought was probably the worst in the league. So I'm kind of leaving the coaching thing out of it for several weeks. Okay, I'm not really, didn't really have it in me to just kind of bash the coaching when I'm looking at what our roster was like. But then along comes Coach Brian Flores in his first year, and I got to tell you guys, this is very promising for him to keep the team together, for him to keep the motivation really going. And you see how we're coming out in these games now. We're coming out a team that wants to win a football game. And more importantly, a team that believes they can win a football game. So I can't say enough about Coach Flores and his staff, for that matter, on how they've kept this team together. Because I'm telling you guys, it looked like 0 to maybe 1 wins. 2? Are you kidding me? If I would have told you a month ago we're going to win 2 games this year, anyone out there would have laughed in my face. No doubt. Okay? So this is good to see. Okay, now let's get into a little bit more of the game itself. How did we pull this out? 16-12 in this kind of scrappy type game. We won the turnover battle. Point number 3, we had the turnover edge, guys. That's big, okay? Really important. All right, the Stephen Parker play where he stripped Eric Ebron of the ball in the end zone, tremendous play. I can't even say Eric Ebron really it wasn't that he messed up. It was that our guy made a great play. I mean, we went out and I'm not saying that one play won us the game, but that was like the staple play of the game. Tremendous. In the end zone, he just kind of reaches in, takes the ball right out. He was this close to gaining enough possession for them to call it a touchdown for the Colts. And when like a split second, Stephen Parker just took it away. That was tremendous. Fitzpatrick, guys, it's more sometimes what he doesn't do, as in mistakes. This was a game where he didn't really hurt us. And, he's smart enough to know, don't make critical mistakes. He didn't make that many. Didn't make that many great plays either, but he didn't make many mistakes. You look at the stat lines, very, very modest. 21 out of 33, 169 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Fitzpatrick was sacked 3 times. You notice now, most of our games lately, he's sacked 2-3 times. He averages maybe 3 sacks. I think he definitely is smart enough to take a sack instead of just taking a chance and throwing it in the middle and hoping it doesn't get intercepted. He's taken that extra sack a game, maybe extra 2 sacks a game, because he doesn't want to hurt us with the turnovers. So that's what I'm seeing out there. Of course, he did help himself, did Fitzpatrick, with 4 carries, 23 yards, and the running touchdown. That was big. Kalen Ballage on the ground. I can't really blame this on him. The guy was running into a wall all game. 20 carries, 43 yards, barely averaging over 2 yards a carry. There was nowhere to go. Nowhere. Receiving department. Devontae Parker, 5 catches for 69 yards. Mr. Allen Hurns, 2 catches, 32 yards. Mike Gesicki had 28 yards receiving on 3 catches. He had the fumble. It was a tough fumble, guys. He lost control of the ball right before going knee hitting the ground. It was close. It was such a quick hitting play, but replay would show us that it was a fumble. All right, we did win the turnover edge. Now, as far as the Colts go, Brian Hoyer, who relieved starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett the week before. I didn't watch that game, but from what I've heard and what I saw in the box score, he really came through for them. He threw 3 touchdown passes last week. They almost beat the Steelers in that game. Against the Dolphins, though, on Sunday, oh no, not quite the same. I'm pretty sure that was a different version of Brian Hoyer because he was 18 out of 39. Now, we were putting some pressure on him. Don't get me wrong. Our defense had something to do with this. 18 out of 39, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, critical 3 interceptions. Oof, critical. There were some throws he made that weren't good. So I've seen him before play very well. This was definitely not one of his better games. I would like to think the Dolphin defense had something to do with that. Excuse me. Sunday morning, I like to watch the fantasy shows, because I do that as a hobby, fantasy football. What am I hearing all Sunday morning? Start this guy they're going up against the Dolphins. Start this guy, start that guy. Marlon Mack's gonna go nuts. He's gonna have a giant game. Start him. Marlon Mack did okay. 19 carries, 74 yards, no touchdowns. Was that a supreme fantasy football performance? I would have to say no. I think what a lot of the so-called fantasy experts are going, and a lot of times they go on, is season. In other words, week 1 to the present statistics and rankings and things like that. But one thing you want to keep in mind with the Dolphin defense, this is a much different defense last few weeks than what we saw the first few weeks of September. There is no comparison. We got absolutely destroyed against the Ravens. The Cowboys scored over 30 against us. And they were not the only teams. There were others too. So New England scored a bunch of points on us, like they do on pretty much everyone. But our defense those first 3-4 weeks, not good. Lately, much better. So we got to keep that in mind. For the Colts, Jordan Wilkins chipped in 20 yards rushing on only 3 carries. The receiving side of things for the Colts, Eric Ebron, 5 catches, 56 yards, led the way. Jack Doyle had 3 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. It was the key defense. 2 big keys on our defense with the turnovers that we forced and created. And number 2, some of the big stops. 3rd and 10. Hey, big stops when they be moving the ball. We did that. We did that on Sunday. Item number 4, Dolphin wear. Dolphin attire. I have an announcement to make. It's returned to South Florida. On my way home, just over an hour ago, stop at the local supermarket. What do I see? A guy wearing a long sleeve shirt, sporty kind of shirt with a number on it. It's one of those jersey long sleeve t-shirts of Miami Dolphins. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? Then 10 minutes later, I'm ready to check out, paying for my groceries. So I made a quick stop. Out of the corner of my eye, a few aisles down, I see a guy pretty much doing the same thing. He's kind of getting his bags ready to go, wearing an aqua and orange Dolphin t-shirt. Dolphin attires returned to South Florida. It was extinct for 6 weeks. mid-September until the end of October. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found in South Florida. Nowhere to be found. Amazing what a couple of wins will do. Amazing. Amazing. Looking ahead, we got the Bills Sunday. This is going to be big. We're at home. We did give the Bills a little bit of problems. Let's be honest with that when we played them on the road, right? Played them in Orchard Park, Buffalo / Orchard Park. But they wound up beating us. They outplayed us in the second half, no doubt. They deserve to win that game. I think it'll be a little closer this time. We have a chance. Bills have a good record, 6-3. We got to respect them, of course. Their quarterback, Allen's pretty good. Different kind of quarterback, likes to run a lot. They seem to be a well-coached team. Let's see how that goes, all right? We're going to go in there, do our best, of course. Remember, we've had a couple of setbacks too, which has kind of made Sunday's win a little bit even more amazing. You know, just and the Preston Williams injury, he's out for the year. So let's just keep all this in mind, everyone. Let's keep all of it in mind that, you know, we just take it week by week, you know, all these things and these positives. When I say keep in mind, let's keep in mind the positive play of the defense. The offense really didn't do a whole heck of a lot, but the defense was there. Coach Flores and his staff, I cannot say enough how they kept this team together. Even if I'm telling you right now, and I say this seriously, even if we lost the rest of our games, I think, which I don't think we will, but who knows? We could. Coach Flores, so far, I'm on the bandwagon now. I am on the bandwagon. I'm a believer now. How he kept this team together, let alone win a couple of games, guys. Very impressive. Very, very impressive as far as I'm concerned. So let's see what happens. We're going to go in Sunday. That's a home game. Who knows? We might get a good turnout for that one. I'm sure there'll be Bill fans down here. Weather's getting really nice here in South Florida. Probably have some Bills fans making the trip for a mid-November contest. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. So, this is Dennis Sullivan, Sports Snippets. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content of today's video. I look forward to seeing you, yes you, again soon. Until now, this is Dennis Sullivan, over and out. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching the program, and you have a great rest of your evening.